YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Yak-11 Steadfast 1450 millimeters. This thing comes equipped with flaps, as you can see, retracts, spring-loaded oleos. Show them that other one there, hun. And soft tires. We're gonna fly ours on 6,000 6S today. And yes, this thing gets around, which you're gonna find out really quick here. We have our timer set to 10 minutes, but we also have pack telemetry, which is super nice. And so we can see the voltage. I have my alarm set to 20.4 volts. Take off flaps, here we go. Get it on the mains, get her in the air. I learned something about this plane. This will be my third flight. Now out of the flaps, of course, AS3X Plus equipped. The landing gear are held on by the gear door.
Oh.
Yeah. Take off flaps now. Look at that beautiful flight envelope. Hard on the throttle. 6,000 6S China hobby lines, because our 5,000 that I'd normally use doesn't get the CG right. Listen to the thing, it sounds like a gasser, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Camera crew's gonna take about 5 steps back. Very good. Those lights really help with visibility, but this thing has ups and downs. When it's foggy like this plane I thought was gonna disappear, and it just doesn't. Watch this, guys. Watch the ups. Slow roll. And coming back down. A few steps forward. A few more steps forward. Okay, going over the bowl. A few more steps toward the bowl. Here we go. And guys, here we are, right over what will be the future damn gift shop. As you can see, there's a pad down there, right below the plane. Full speed pass. Nice flat level one. Beautiful. Roll rate could be a little bit faster on this plane, but I'm okay with it. I could always crank up my rates on the Spectrum transmitters. They like to reserve and hold back a little bit, but if you decide you want to use it, the AS3X Plus will keep up without any problems. Okay, pulling out of this dive. A little bit to the right and to the left, or left and the right, rather. Now watch this flight envelope, guys. Full landing flaps coming out, slowing it down, getting out of the throttle. Look at this, right over the tops of the grass. Look how nice that looks. Very controllable, easy to fly. A little bit of dihedral. In fact, this thing has a wooden spar that has a V shape to it. Looks like a V-lamb. I didn't catch that joke until just now. Okay, we're gonna do another pass. We're gonna show you guys that are just returning to Brian Phillips RC, maybe had a small hiatus. We took down the cherry at the end of the runway. Let's see if we can pass right through. Ready? Couldn't have done that last year. Goodness gracious, that sounds so dang good. By the way, the 2 bolts that join the wing to the fuselage inside pass, a couple steps to your right, they do hug my pack, so be super careful that you're checking on that. I like that it holds the pack, but I went ahead and put a couple of small pieces of electrical tape. We'll see if that's enough to just kind of keep that high G loading from actually touching and damaging the lithium polymer pack. So far so good though, and boy that looks scale. It sounds great like it's a gasser, that big prop. Noise is inefficiency though, as you guys know, so I kind of wish it was dead quiet, even though I love the sound. Beautiful flight performance, upside down, right side out. It doesn't care, but it will bite on a stall. You're good where you are. Oh, we got some wind with that pass I wasn't expecting. Want to do the S curve through our old hole. Guys, gotta love the way this thing flies. It's so much fun. Pulling out of a dive, hard on the throttle. Nice and flat and level and straight up. Janked it. AS3X Plus recovers so dang quick out of slips. And I just love the way that it cuts lines, guys. It is really a joy to fly. A couple steps in, right over the runway. You good? Okay, haven't checked. Guys, a little bit of ultra micro porpoising there as we go into that really high speed pass. Got a little bit of crosswind. It's hard to tell in the video. Okay, inside pass. You good? We'll go all the way around the tree line to the fox killing zone. Here we go. Guys, flight times are phenomenal on this plane. Really good takeoff flaps now. Slowing it down, beautiful. Hard on the throttle, getting out of the hole. One thing I have noticed, this is my third flight. If you get too hard on the throttle, too quick, too eager, you can actually force this thing to fart. And yes, if you guys are new to Brian Phillips RC, I'll explain what that is. Try to keep the trees stall turn there. Yes, beautiful recovery. She'll high speed stall on you. So be careful, don't jank it too quick on moves like that. Right toe the bulldozer and up. 20.6. Okay, we'll go into a pattern here. Guys, we do have this plane equipped with Safe Select. Camera crew, a few steps back, please. Safe Select, of course, will auto level the plane. Should make it a breeze to fly. We open up 60 degrees of flight envelope. Okay, full landing flaps right over the tops of the trees. Here we go. We're just bringing it in for a nice, cruisy, easy landing. We'll see how we do. Okay. And watch yourself. She gets a little ground loopy, just so you know. Oh, that's the first time I put the nose down, but you can see the giant split flaps here. And so that's beautiful. Soft tires. This thing does okay, but I didn't notice until my second flight, which was off camera, of course. Throttle cut is on. 22.2 volts. Full disclosure, and our time is at 2 minutes and 30 from 10, okay? So we actually have a little bit of flight time left, but I wanna show you this, guys. Look at the landing gear. I did not catch this in the Unbox build radio set, but look at this. Boom. That's all that holds them on. Oh. So that's why the splay makes such a difference on this, because even though they're softer tires, and we do have a spring-loaded oleo, it just gets a little bit wonk on ground handling, okay? So I'm just gonna show you a takeoff again. We'll do a quick circuit and see if I can do a 3-wheel landing. Just be careful, when she's going fast, she likes to tail loop bad, okay? Grass hops should be no problem for this plane. In fact, I'll do grass hops. We'll back taxi and come back toward us. She just kind of likes to walk a little bit. If you force in a little bit of movement, full up elevator. Camera crew, where are you?
Right here.
Okay. Let's go over here and take off. Keep your speed up, get into it, and then she bounces right into the air, guys, at a super low speed, as you can see. And absolutely no problem getting into the air. And those gear door do not give us any problems. We've seen that in the past from some of the HobbyKing models we've done. And that's just because they've gotten a lot better at what they do, I think. And that's a good thing, because I love some of the models they have, and I would love to see some of the V3.4s and V5s. Takeoff flap, she is chiming at me, so I'm gonna see if I can do my landing. Oh, 20.3, we're good. Okay, full landing flaps and gear. Way up above the trees, guys. Just watching out for the UPS, anti-UPS stick. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Right on the mains. As you can see in the grass, she does fine. Almost don't need the split flaps when you put it down in grass, but it will do it just fine. Okay, and we're gonna do one more sorties and then we're gonna be done. Full up elevator, takeoff flaps deployed. We'll just get her in the air because look at that. You just force it in and it just goes. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I basically gave it one burst of thrust and it was in the air. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps. She is chiming at me, so I'm gonna respect the lady. 20.2, we're good. Success, we got plenty of power, okay? Bring it right between the trees, guys. Look at that, beautiful, couldn't do that last year. Oh, shoot, we got the uphill. And then tricycle landing, and as you can see, she gets wonk-delic. So, keep it on the mains was what I was trying to explain earlier. And also don't land on that spot of my driveway, runway, because it is a ramp. Okay, so since we still have pretty good, hold on, I gotta find my right screen. We're 20.8 volts, okay? So I've got enough to take off. I'm gonna just show you this, even on 20.8 volts. Okay, full up elevator, get into the throttle. Whoa, oh no! Gravity has tried to stop me from taking off, and yet I'm gonna do it anyway. That prop is huge, by the way, and it just cut a big old hole in my yard. But you know what? No problem for the prop. It's got plenty of strength. I'm gonna go up, do one more touchdown. I wanna show you not touching down on that ramp part. Okay, out of the takeoff flaps this time. Full up elevator, here we go. Get into the throttle, slow, get it rolling. There it goes. You see the fart, guys? That's what I'm talking about. 20.3, we got plenty of power. Plenty of power, guys. I'm at 25% throttle. Takeoff flaps now. Okay, now it's gonna be dead stick. Full landing flaps. Camera crew, you good? Mm-hmm. Okay, we are taking this landing because we don't got any other choice. Tricycle, there it is. So as you can see, if you're Johnny on the spot, of course I would hit one giant weed. Yeah. Look at this, guys, this giant weed I hit. I picked it up, pulled it out of the ground. If it weren't for that, I think I would have just bounced right back on the ground. Mm-hmm. The plane is really fun to fly. It does everything I would expect from a warbird. But just remember this, if you get this plane, you're not gonna be doing sophisticated ground ops, in my opinion, because even though it has softer tires, and that's on all three, not just the mains. The mains are actually a little bit firmer than the tail wheel, which is nice and soft. Once you get onto that squishy tail wheel, it just gives a little bit too much. Now, AS3X Plus has a nose wheel, tail wheel function where you can do additional stabilization on it. However, it's physically tied to, of course, your rudder. And she is chiming at me at 20.26 volts. So as you can see, our timer being set to 10 minutes is probably right on the edge of what's allowed. So I'm gonna cancel out of this, scroll over, 2 minutes 25 plus 10 would be 12 and a half, but we were down for probably a minute to 2 minutes of that. So at this point, we get about 10 minutes of flight on 6000 6S. That's a 70C China Hobby line battery. Super impressed. The EC5 on that battery slides right into the XT90, but be careful. Use caution. Even with an EC5, you can put it in backward. I've done it one time. It was the last time. And it wasn't on this plane, it was on a different plane and I screwed it up. So there you have it, guys, the Steadfast 1.45 meters or 1450 millimeters. It is a beautiful plane, it's a looker. The closer you get, the more detail you get. You do notice some very, very small gripes in finish, like the fitment of this canopy, and it comes off weird. Real quick, we'll just show you that. We also had a little dent in our cowl here. Now, I just popped mine out by putting my finger in here, and it's pretty soft, okay? Same thing with the canopy, a little bit squishy, so gripes would be there. And then this is just a weird opening, okay? See how it opens? And you actually have access to that. So this ends up being kind of weak, okay? But otherwise, beautiful, huge battery tray. Yes, you can go all the way up, and you can see where my battery is. It's actually slipped back just a hair, and you can see I pushed back to the memory from where it shipped, okay? So this battery is gigantic, okay? And look how big this thing is. This is what I'm talking about. You can plug that in backward if you're not careful, okay? Don't do that, okay? You will destroy it, okay? And if you do that, make sure it's outside so you can catch your plane on fire in your front yard instead of in your kitchen, okay? So I'm just gonna pop this out real quick and show you how the battery sits, and then you guys can drool at just how beautiful and easy it was to load, okay? So also I wanna point out this little mar mark here, and that little mar mark didn't get any worse. That was from our actual maiden flight. Not sure what you guys are gonna see on this video series. It's probably gonna be the maiden and this, but look what I did. All I did was throw a piece of electrical tape over the top, folded it, pinched it, that's it. One thick, nothing special. My other China Hobby line pack that's just like this got two little nips through the white. And now I can see the silver of the lithium pack. Okay, you need to be careful. If it starts cutting, I put black electrical tape over it to help protect it. I know I didn't make it through the pack itself, but once you release that, then the lithium gas is allowed to expel when you have a little bit of puffage, okay? As these batteries have a chemical reaction, they contain the heat, they keep the shape, and once you cut a seam in there, it's gonna release that gas to ambient, and it's gonna be likely to mix with water in the air and catch on fire, so don't do that, okay? Beautiful AR 637T, worked perfectly. We do have our telemetry on the pack through this. We'll show you exactly how to set all that up and even more on our Unbox Build radio setup. Like I said, normally we'd use a 5000 6S 50C pack in the Spectrum Smart variety. The IC3 does fit. We actually set our plane up with it, but it doesn't quite get our CG where we want it because we go so far forward, we fall out of the strap location. So because you can't go any further forward to actually run the strap, you would have to design a battery tray or put it in and put some dead weight up here. I'm not a big fan of dead weight, and therefore we're not gonna do that. Also, my 5S 7000 smart packs are 30C. They call for, it was 50C plus, okay? Yes, these are 70C. So we all know that C ratings are total BS, but if you get a 70C pack over a 30C pack, there's a high probability it's gonna be a little bit more resilient, okay? And I would say a 30C smart pack is probably somewhere in the consistency level of this anyway. It probably would work fine on this plane, but this thing screams. You can hear it, you can feel it, it's amazing. But remember, complaint number 3, the farts from the motor. I didn't notice that on flight 1 or 2. I hope it's not a flung motor magnet or anything like that. I don't think it is, because otherwise you would hear it all the time and it would be very, very loud, okay? Usually when I hear farts, it's a timing issue with the ESC, okay? You can potentially change that, but I'm not even gonna bother because this plane is so dang good. But I don't know if you noticed that on takeoff when we first rolled and we went over the field, you heard that. I was like, oh great, I'm gonna lose my power. Well, then I got right back into it. And by the way, that's when I was actively piloting. So I didn't want to talk about it right then, I wanted to fly through it. Remember, there are times when we film, you guys are probably thinking, oh yeah, you've flown it 30 times. No, we flew it. This is my 3rd flight. I flew once off camera for fun. It's Christmas Day. My family's getting ready to leave for family stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna go fly because it's calm. And I never fly for fun. We always fly for you. And so I was like, let's fly again because that was so good. And it was good, but that was actually better. It was better than this flight. So I'm sorry guys, I tried to do my best for camera, but that's my 3rd flight. Okay, so all of our findings always make it to camera. And in this case, this battery was good, okay? That being said, these are considerably cheaper than Smart, but you do have more maintenance involved, and you're probably gonna tend to notice that these are on like 3 flights in and I've already kind of got a little bit of puff going. That's not to say Smart packs won't puff, but that's just to say this is like a 3 or 4 flight old pack, okay? This might be the 2nd flight actually. Might be. Because what do we use it on, the Super Scorpion? I think we use them on Super Scorpion, because I did, or well, we might have done 5000s on those. But either way, we do have some 8S coming for the Super Scorpion, just so you guys know. We're just waiting on an 8S charger. I know it sounds ridiculous that I don't even have one yet, but we're gonna show you that and show you how we set up to charge those things. So we got all sorts of stuff right around the corner on Brian Phillips RC, and I'm about ready to get in trouble because our family's supposed to be leaving for a family event. And this is what happens every time we have a family event or work or something important. Then we film a video, or we need to do an unbox for 6 hours. This is what we do, but we're really glad that we're still doing it for you after almost, we have 9 years. Evidently I'd been saying 10 years, but I was wrong. Google corrected me. We had our 9-year birthday just a few days ago, and it came up on our dashboard on YouTube. So thanks for giving us 9 years of pure delight, no stress or anxiety or frustration. Never. Just fun and only fun, right?
Yeah, right.
And also at the end of the day, we really do appreciate you.
We do.
You know, you guys a debt of gratitude because we wouldn't be able to do crazy, insane things like what you see in the backyard. Yep, that's the pad for the damn gift shop. We wouldn't need a damn gift shop if we didn't have a damn runway, but we're gonna have a damn runway here pretty quick. That is, if you guys keep watching. Otherwise, we won't be able to fund it. So please, if you think about it, when you're buying from the links in the video description below, buy the batteries from the links in the video description below, transmitters, receivers, all the different things that you think you might want, come check them out on Brian Phillips RC before you pull the trigger. We'll help you make a decision because we give you the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. Because at the end of the day, we gain nothing by making upset customers. We gain everything by keeping you guys happy, successful, fruitful RC aircraft aficionados. And if you guys aren't one yet and you want to be one, you're in the right place. Don't get this plane because you'll crash it. You don't need to buy such an expensive battery, transmitter, and plane to get in the air. But believe me, you're gonna end up doing this if you get hooked like I am, okay? And we wanna make you just like me. And by the way, if you're just coming back to the hobby, we're gonna help you sort through the numerous terrible things. This is me wading through water with sharks. The sharks are Chinese companies trying to eat your legs and tell you that this plane's the best for beginners. They're not. We'll tell you the truth. They tell us all the time, say this, say that. Take a picture in front of the tree. Do this. Nah, we don't do that. We don't care what they say. We care what you say. And we want them to succeed because I love airplanes. Anybody stupid enough to make foam into an airplane professionally, I'm gonna work with those people, okay? Because making foam into airplanes is a tough gig these days. And I want to encourage them. But that being said, I'm not gonna listen to what their marketing people say. I'm gonna listen to what you say. I'm gonna listen to what we think. I'm gonna obey the truth. Because that's what we do on Brian Phillips RC. We love this hobby and we are not gonna let people drag it into the rags of the dark web from China. We're gonna tell the truth so that you guys can make good decisions with your RC purchases because not everybody has 400 in their living room like we do. We're working on that too. So hence the building. Anyway, guys, if you want to see what happens with this, all you have to do is subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and you're going to see all sorts of obnoxious videos from Brian between now and then. And Megan's going to be behind the camera, smiling the whole time, not pissed off at all about being late to family gatherings. Unless we happen to be doing that day. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey, stay tuned. So much more right around the corner. If you want to support us, but you just can't bring another one home, I'm sorry, but yes, that does happen occasionally. Then all you have to do is look no further than Patreon, PayPal, YouTube Super Thanks, or YouTube members, any of which are much appreciated, or just get a battery. Just pretend like it's a new shoe. Or shoes for your wife. Wrap it up, put it on the top shelf when she's not looking. Open that thing up! It's gonna be amazing! And then someday buy some shoes and put them in that same wrapping paper. It's like I've done this before. All right, that's all we got. Come back. Oh, links in the video description for this plane. Yeah, Steadfast, it's good, you'll like it. There's nothing really crazily bad about it. There's nothing insanely good beyond what you saw there, and that was pretty good, okay? But 1400 millimeters, it's kind of like an in-between size class, okay? It's not 1.5, it's not 1.2. There's a lot of 1.3s and 1400s in our size classes that we've done other years, but they are kind of like the minority, okay? I like them when they come out. In fact, the T7A was I think it was like a 1400 millimeter. Something was an E-Flight product. Yeah. Really enjoyed that plane, but it was just kind of like wonky flying because I changed the way it was supposed to fly. I should have done what the manual said. In this case, this thing flies amazing. It looks amazing. And even in overcast skies like this, it looks beautiful. And those LEDs close the deal, okay? You can fly them when the sun sets at 4:30 in Iowa or when the sun sets at 9:30 in Iowa. It's probably not that late ever, but wishful thinking. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all we got for you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas, depending on when you're seeing this. I'm assuming we're going to miss the Christmas since it's being filmed today, but Merry Christmas for 2025, I guess. And come back for more. It's right around the corner. Thanks for watching. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look what we got here. HobbyKing, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's right. It's the Steadfast, the Yak-11. Super cool. Can't wait to bring this to you right now on Brian Phillips RC. We've got bright LEDs, huge prop.
Huge.
Retracts, spring-loaded oleos, soft tires, all around. Give me a squish. Split flaps. Really cool. This thing is 6S power. And we happen to be flying on a 6000 6S. And why 6000, camera crew?
Because our 5000 Smart Pack did not CG out the way we wanted it to.
That's right. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly it today equipped with an AR637T, which gives us telemetry on the pack, which is gonna be super nice, and AS3X Plus. Okay, real quick, first things first, we have a 5-minute timer set. And we're gonna go right to this screen, okay? So without further ado, folks, Brian Phillips RC, HobbyKing re-debut. Beautiful wind conditions, here we go. Get it on its mains. Okay, gear going up. So far, so good. Beautiful lights.
Yeah, helpful.
Beautiful bird. A little bit of roll, got to get that fixed. Holy cow, that's got some power. That was 60% power. I got to get a roll taken care of. We are rolling slightly. Okay. The gray, I was afraid would disappear. Okay, let's do a glide. A couple more clicks of roll. I think we got it worked out. Man, that thing is noisy. Sounds like a gasser. High speed pass, you good? I think that's what we call an out of balance prop. But you know, that's okay. I'll take it because it sounds like a gasser and it's pretty awesome. Beautiful, guys. Rock solid performance from HobbyKing. What? Guys, full throttle passes. China Hobby line batteries out of the throttle. A little bit of rudder. Beautiful pass right over the tree line. Feels solid. A little bit of overcorrection on the elevator, but otherwise everything feels great. Rolling out of it. Love the one light. The one light's beautiful. Just bring it down low for some lower passes. I'm gonna slow it down. That's about 30% throttle now. I was into it about 60 inside pass. You good? Low. Very reliable flight performance. This thing is actually flying amazing. Oh, nice clean rolls. Gotta love it, folks. We're gonna come through the trees here, camera crew. In the hole. In the hole. Love the sound.
I can cover some ground.
No kidding. Well, I mean, it's 6S in a 1450 millimeter platform. You guys see, I keep banking it like that, but it just does it. Out here a little further. All the way to the runway, if you don't mind. Now, guys, I'm not sure how we're doing on battery because it's 22.6 right now in a cruise. Do a couple more passes inside here. Want a little wider berth. You see that slight overcorrection on the elevator. A couple more steps back, and we're gonna do that again. I love the echo. What's going on over there? What is that? Oh, it's a giant pad for a building.
It is.
Okay, here we go. Full speed pass. And straight up. First time I felt it hesitate was there, and it is unlimited vertical, folks. Here we go. Really high speed pass. Woo! I got chicken! We're gonna glide it here, take off flaps. No unusual behavior. Feels great still. Now landing flaps. Look at those things droop. Looks beautiful. Profile of the plane barely changes because we got split flaps on this plane. But look at that thing slow down. Wow. Beautiful. What a look, guys. Hard on the throttle just in case around the trail line out of the flaps. Coming up and around. Let's do a dirty pass, full landing flaps and gear coming out. They are pretty speedy coming out, so it's maybe not something to behold. Oh yeah, dirty pass. Get out of the flaps, out of the gear. We'll bring them back down on the next pass, see if we can do a touch and go. So guys, HobbyKing, they're evidently back in the game. That's pretty awesome. Now, they've been around for the whole time we've been doing this. We used to do HobbyKing stuff all the time, but we just got to the point where we didn't want to fight some stuff, and I think they've vastly improved some of their quality control measures, and we're gonna see if that holds up. Touch and go. A little bit of yank from the landing gear. We're gonna bring this around. We're still at 22 volts, so we're still holding strong. It is a 6,000 milliamp hour pack, which is a big battery, 6S. We're getting good flight times gear coming out, takeoff flaps now. We'll roll into the landing flaps when we get on to final. Slows down really good.
It does.
Huge prop, love the sound, even though it's totally an inefficiency. Going around the one tree. That's the way we used to fly our lines. Woohoo! Three-wheeled landing. Oh, we did a grass hops on accident, folks. A little bit janky on the ground. It's kind of got a little bit of a hesitation. Okay, let's go back here and do grass hops for a takeoff. Okay. Let's see if it survives, guys. Our grass is admittedly pretty smooth right now. Camera crew back to my right, if you don't mind. Okay, so we're just gonna sit here. Now, when you think about landing gear, I think about strength, I think about robustness, I think about wing mounts, and I think about all the things that HobbyKing planes used to do bad. Let's see if this survives. And by the way, I have no idea if it's gonna survive. Takeoff flaps deployed. I'm gonna go flapless. Elevator's ready. Get into the throttle, roll into it, hard on the throttle. There it is. It bounced off the ground pretty quick. And 30% power, guys, just show them.
Yep.
40, maybe 40, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and show you safe next. That's right, we have safe on ours. So here's safe, auto leveled. And we've done 60 degrees down takeoff flaps, slowing it down. Beautiful, guys. Plenty of ups allowed. It's just so weird because you have to pull the stick so far to make your maneuver. If you're used to flying AS3X, down, up. Ooh, I stalled it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm out of the stabilizer now. We'll just show you how that feels and looks. I think our battery barely got our CG good. And the problem is with the 5000 is the strap lets go of the battery. It's not long enough to hang on to it, okay? So the 6000, yeah, you guys see the porpoising? Screw that, I'm going back to AS3X Plus. Feels rock solid as you fly by. That porpoising is exactly what I was afraid of because I think we are still technically just a little teeny bit tail heavy. But AS3X makes it unnoticeable, guys. Look at this. Beautiful passes, makes me look like a better pilot than I really am. And absolutely no problems getting this thing into beautiful tight passes. Takeoff flaps now.
Well, and that's, you are a significantly better pilot than last time we did some HobbyKing planes, too.
Yeah, I am.
It was a long time ago.
We also have a lot better place to fly, which is gonna be even better in a few days.
Few days.
Few days.
365
of them.
Yeah, probably.
Guys, look at that. Look at that pad over there. It's dinky. There is a manned aircraft. I don't know where he is. He's got to be below the ceiling or above the ceiling.
It might be a truck too on the highway.
Oh, it is. It's Jake brake or something?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Inside pass. Or outside, outside.
Okay.
Love it, guys. So I got to say the China Hobby lines have done a really good job on this.
Yeah.
Was there a crazy echo I was blabbing over?
I don't know.
I love the echo off the building. That is definitely an echo. Guys, I want to see that stall again with AS3X on. I don't think I'll get it. So here's the thing, folks. The LEDs make this plane so much more visible in this low light conditions. Okay, here we go. 30-40% AS3X Plus, cutting the throttle, giving a little bit of elevator, pulling back on the stick, and there it goes. Tips the wing, get into the throttle, fly the plane. No problem at all recovering, but it is very, very strong stall compared to what we've seen in recent vintage. Okay, we're gonna come out of a dive right in front of us. You good? Ooh, I got her to do a little humping. Did you see it? That's the first time I've got this thing to really misbehave. I'm gonna go ahead and back off my gains to about 50%. I heard the beep as I passed by with the R knob or the rotary knob. We're gonna try that same test. Here we go. Ooh, 21.2, the first time I've seen it sag. Here we go. Not exactly the same maneuver, folks. I apologize. That was not my intention. Here's somebody honking at us. That guy was honking.
Oh.
So folks, if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, this is what we do. We build them, we set them up, we do the full radio setup. It's exhaustive, meaning we open the box, we show every step. About the only time we pause is when our battery dies or when we need to take a break to go to dinner or eat lunch or whatever it is. And we show all of it. Guys, because that's what we do on Brian Phillips RC. I want to see if I can get a little bit better. Ground ops. Oh, did we do a grass ops already on accident? It was accidental ground ops?
And it was kind of both.
Okay. We'll come over here and take the long approach. Okay, full landing flaps coming in. No ballooning. We must have got that perfect at 6 and 9. And between that and AS3X, we're golden. Oh, I don't like that. I'm not taking it. I'm just going to go around, guys. You can always go around until you can't. So takeoff flaps, landing gear coming out. I'm just curious. I think I let that develop way too long.
Really?
It's too far out there. Yeah, for this plane, it doesn't need that long of a landing approach. So I'm gonna come up here, full landing flaps here, a little bit of rudder, let AS3X do its job. It's just scary because those trees blend together so bad, but there's no cherry there now. Look at that landing approach, guys. I couldn't do that last year. There it is. Oh, it gets a little wonky on the ground. You guys notice that when I lose my airspeed, it wants to kind of veer. I noticed that when I was sitting on the counter overnight while we were between filming sessions. Jeez.
Somebody made a giant
Some
mess.
mud on my boots. Look
Wonder
at
why.
that, oops. So I am not sure if that's gonna keep it up, but I think I've got a little bit of juice, so we're gonna try one more ops on grass. Okay, camera crew's nervous now all of a sudden. But I just wanna see, let's try it on the pavement for the takeoff. And we'll see if I can make this
land
threshold.
on grass?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Take off flaps. Here we go. Get it on its mains, a little bit of P factor, and up she goes! Yeah, baby! That's a warning.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna, woo! I'm gonna veer. I wanted to get into my final, and I just waited till the last second. Gear coming out. I am getting warnings. Camera crew, you good? Mm-hmm. Full landing flaps. Here it is. I want to try 3-wheeled. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, guys. Yeah, ground loop's like a banshee, but you know what? All I got to say is when you've got it chiming at you for low volts on a 6,000 milliamp hour pack, and by the way, let's talk about timing on that. That's 7 minutes and 46 past 5. So 13 minutes of flight time is not bad for a huge honking beast of a plane. And I was not exactly being energy efficient in my passes. You may have noticed when I was going around at full speed for like 6 or 7 loops in a row. Okay? All I got to say is super impressed with this plane. Super impressed with that pad back there, guys. Look at that. Pretty awesome. We got some touch-up work to do on it. Our excavator crew is taking off for Christmas. We've been promising that for many months. We've been promised that for many months, to be honest. And we never mean to dink you guys around, but it's happening, okay? So the full-scale hangar, the dam runway, we wanted to get that pad done so we could overwinter the pad and get a frost in and get it to settle. And that's exactly what Mother Nature is gonna help us do in just a few days. Yeah. It's gonna frost and it's gonna settle and it's gonna do all those things. It's gonna bulge and it's gonna freeze and it's gonna everything. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start making our plans for the building that's gonna go over there. And that building may or may not contain airplanes that are full scale, but it will definitely contain a bunch of radio controlled planes, okay?
A bunch.
Yeah, like racks all the way along a 60-foot wall. It's gonna be awesome. So if you guys don't know, we're building an aerodrome here on Brian Phillips RC. That's why we have a runway and not a driveway. This runway is gonna continue that way that runway. Have we ever showed them the runway?
Yes, we have.
While we're looking at the Steadfast, it's a beautiful plane, but I want you guys to see what's happening. The runway is going to continue past, and it's going to be our crosswind strip. Now, you come over here, you can see about where it is. There's a little bit of undulation. Come right here and show them the paths. So the paths are going to go like that, except they're going to also continue behind the camera crew. And it's going to be a cross here. It's going to be super cool. We were going to do a helipad here, but that just didn't come to fruition because I went and looked at some full-scale helipads, and they were just like square parking lots. They were very boring. And I'm like, that's not cool. And we're going to have a huge approach over there, a 50 by 50 apron on one end is my goal, with a 30 by 30 on this end with a 30-foot connective apron. So it's going to be on the west and the south side. So it's going to be amazing. And I figure if you're going to land a helicopter, you can land it there or you can land it at the crest of the hill, depending on how big it is. And so all this stuff is happening in real time and space. And so if you're wondering where all your RC commissions go,
They're
there.
over in there in the ground.
And on this super cheap runway that's going to get built. When I say super cheap, I'm being extremely facetious because I love this hobby. I love flying RC and I love teaching you guys what I know, which is still limited. I'm still learning something every day. And that's what you got to do if you're going to fly RC. And not the least of which is, what's the latest and greatest? Is HobbyKing making good planes again? Can we make them fly the way that an E-flite plane flies or the way that an FMS plane performs? And the answer to that would be pretty much yeah. This plane is beautiful. It goes together a little bit harder than some of the competitive offerings.
A little bit.
I feel like the landing gear are solid enough to get the job done. You saw it on the grass. You saw the power. Throttle cut is on. I'm going to show you guys the action of the gear now that we have flown. Okay, I'm going to just go under here. It's a little bit hard to pick up because of the gear holes. There's a forward cant on the landing gear. And so you'll notice this. Love the flaps. We had to do some minor modifications, as in I used an X-Acto knife to cut one edge out by the rudder and steerable tail wheel, by the steerable tail wheel, right there.
No, it's on this side.
Oh, it's on that. I'm so sorry, camera crew. You're right.
Yep, right there.
That's the only modification we did to this plane. Okay, landing gears still go into their pockets. That's something we haven't seen in the past on HobbyKing offerings. So I gotta say, as much as it's been a long time coming, we are glad it's here because we're ready for a whole new line of amazing different offerings. And if they suck, guess what? We'll share that too. But I would say this thing is very far from sucking. And all we did that's really out of box, it's different, is we used a battery that we preferred and we used a receiver that we preferred, which is the AR637T. It's a little bit more pricey than you would have to do. You could totally do what we did on a 631 and be absolutely fine. You're gonna miss one feature, and that is the low voltage warning, because you're not gonna have pack telemetry. But I gotta say, look at the scale lines on this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous, okay? Another complaint we had was our spinner went together poorly, but look at it now. It's fine. Once we did it, it worked, okay? So, in terms of complaints, I'm complaining because it's winter and I want to fly this thing more. But otherwise, I would say the LEDs are nice. I like that it glows top and bottom. It's also got this decorative detail and it makes it look bigger. And yes, that is kind of an anti-scale detail, but I like it because when I'm flying a foamy, I can see the perimeter lighting from the other side and it really helps with orientation. This lighting, I looked out the window this morning, I said, ah, man, it's gonna be crappy lighting for this plane because it's gray, right? It's just gonna blend right in. Look at the bottom, look at the top. It was easy to see, I had no problems. Now, last couple of Maidens we did, we had significant fog, you know? So I would say right now, this plane is visible because of the LEDs, okay? You get into lighting conditions like this, you'll lose a plane over the absent LEDs. And so now, if it's a bright J3 Cub, you're pretty much gonna be able to see it, okay? Especially if it's yellow. But I'm gonna tell you this plane is very well done. Second complaint, a little bit weird to get to the battery. I'm gonna show you that next. And by the way, if you wanna see the full Unbox build radio setup, you can watch it right now, it's published. And if you guys are brand new to the channel, That's one of the features of the channel. And what we do is we unbox, build, and radio set up the plane. We do all the steps and we show the entire process start to finish. No, it doesn't open here, it opens here. Pull it forward, grab the canopy, it's kind of squishy, lift it up a little bit, let go of that, and then you can walk this up. And then as you walk up, I'm trying to show this in slow motion, this pulls out. So it is one weird setup. We've not seen that before. Sharp edge, probably not the best idea on this type of setup. That would have been curled over. I think it would have been better. But as you can see, huge battery tray. And by the way, that can go forward more, but you lose your strapping point, okay? And so that's my only concern. You can see we put shelf liner here off camera. I don't do things like this off camera generally, but I did this. I added one more piece up here because this tray goes all the way forward, folks. And by the way, if you have to take your wing off, 2 connection points here. You can leave your receiver all wired up. You can unplug the multi-connector setup, but you can also split out your ailerons should you decide you want to do like flaperons or crow or something. But I can tell you this from experience on this plane. It slows down nicely with the flaps. It definitely wants to bounce on landing. Okay, soft tires and spring-loaded oleos together in tandem just make it soft. If you hit grass, you're gonna be golden. And also, and admittedly, with practice comes perseverance on greasy landings on warbirds. I gotta say this. I think what happens on this is that the landing gear are splayed forward. They're canted like, you know, a few degrees forward. And I think as they flex, they come out like this. And so you have a toe out effect. And the toe out effect makes an issue when you're landing on mains, okay? Because even though you're on your mains, the tail dragger is up, it has a tendency to want to favor the one that's got a little bit more bite. We saw that on other planes, like the FW190 had a tendency, it had very far outboard, and it actually had a pretty good toe in on those, but they're sticking way out like this. We had pretty good luck with that, but those landing gear probably cost as much as this plane. So I gotta say, beautiful, really impressed by the Steadfast in the 1.45 or 1450 millimeter size class from HobbyKing. Super excited to be working with HobbyKing again. It's been forever since we did, and it was kind of a bummer because we used to do a lot of gliders and a lot of sailplanes and a lot of these things that we don't get at some of the other big shops. And so we're excited to be able to offer a few of them here on Brian Phillips RC. And we're gonna put our spin on it, which to be honest with you is pretty basic. We get them, we show you the entire build, and then we show you how they performed, okay? AS3X Plus is gonna make you look like a better pilot than you are. I'm just telling you, get it. If you got an older firmware, update your firmware. If you got an old NX8, make it 20 channels. If you got an old NX10, when I say old, I mean it's still fairly new, upgrade it, get the 20 channels, guys. What are you waiting for? It's not that hard. And I would highly recommend you upgrade old receivers if you have a plane that's a little bit wonk and maybe the AS3X was just not quite enough. The AS3X Plus might put it over the top because this thing did really good. And by the way, no stabilization on this is gonna bite because those stalls were aggressive. The wing drop was crazy. I mean, granted, when you know how to fly, you just give it power, point the nose down, fly out of it. It's no big deal. But if you stall low, it's gonna be like that. And it's gonna be over. And yeah, the softer foam is not going to tolerate being tumbled at 50 miles an hour along the ground, I'm guessing. Also, wooden spar, which is very weird. Plywood, V-shaped spar. We haven't seen that before. It's got a little V-lam in there. So super excited. It's always nice to be able to show a new experience in RC. And for that reason, we did interrupt our findings to point out the fact that we've got this pad going together. And so are we gonna pause, walk over there and give them a quick look?
You have a breakfast to make.
Okay, so we will. She says no, but I say yes. We're gonna pause and show it. All right, so we're on the dam runway now. We've got the pond here, you guys have seen it. We've got Long Island over there. We've got the second dock, the beautiful rock garden, and then down here, the stilling pond and the path down to it. And that's another stilling dam that was all part of this construction project. The next project is this. So it's gonna be a building that sits there and it's got a hangar on one end, it's got an FBO, it's got a garage for vehicles and utility stuff that we need for a farm. And then the hills all touch up to that point. That's where the planes are gonna roll out and go up to the hill. And then they're gonna go up and dogleg, and there's 2 runway options, or 1 giant long runway if you can make a tight turn on your, basically when you're getting ready to take off. But most people are gonna go up to the top of the hill and take off that way or take off this way. And it just depends on the prevailing winds. Or they're gonna go up to the top of the hill and take off that way. And it just depends. But this is the sort of crazy stuff that happens on Brian Phillips RC. The reason the pond is here now is because we needed to set the stage for the location of all the things that are non-negotiables. So for instance, it's non-negotiable, you gotta be able to get to the building. It's non-negotiable that we wanted to have a pond eventually. And so this sets the stage because the geography sets the stage, and the topography and the rules, and there was a lot of them that we had to follow. So we're super glad to be able to share this with you. If you guys ever decide to build a pond and you're in like close to a capital city, then you're gonna follow a bunch of stupid rules and it's gonna be ridiculous. So all you people that spent like $10,000 on your pond, please don't tell me in the comments, because it's just gonna hurt my soul. Because that golf green there cost us thousands of dollars. That is a, what is it? Sheer Force 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's InstaTurf. It's basically a golf green that grass can grow through, that engineers wanted us to have. Yeah, thousands of dollars.
It's in place.
$3,000.
It's in place of riprap.
Yeah, because we want to be able to mow across it.
Yep.
And it's a good thing they put it where they did, because that hill is right there.
Yep.
So guys, at the end of the day, we're doing big things here. Anything that's made here is regurgitated straight onto this property so that we can make more and bigger and more, and not just more voluminous, longer videos, which you know we'll do by accident. We want to make good content that's high quality, and it's coming from a place of love and admiration for a hobby that we all share, and that is RC and really aviation in general. I love aviation. I don't just love ponds, okay? I love my family, but I really love aviation. This is just, you don't have to be one-dimensional, okay? But the truth is, I really do. It is one of the driving forces in my soul, in my psyche, and I've wanted to do it for so long. I didn't even know I wanted to do it as bad as I wanted to do it. And now I'm fleshing that out, and it is cool to be able to live my dreams, okay? And to have a family that supports me, and to have a group of people that watches our videos. Remember, we have 6 people in this family, most of which are still sleeping. They should be getting up because we have to go to Christmas stuff. And it's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait. But the truth is, I couldn't do it without all the help that comes from the other side of the screen here. And so we wanna give you guys a high five and a handshake, and wanna meet you guys when you go to Joe Nall or RC Fest in Illinois, when we go out there and meet up with you, because it's one of our favorite things to do. But in the meantime, keep enjoying the beautiful content. We hope it's enjoyable and productive, because at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're bringing people hopefully back to the hobby that are on hiatus for whatever reason. And we're trying to bring people into the hobby that have never done it before, because there are a million ways that are easier to spend your hobby dollars and your hobby time and your hobby effort. Because flying is hard, but it is ultra rewarding, okay? It is so much fun. You can't buy this skill. You have to earn it, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I think it's got such a draw for average Joes like me, okay? My name's Brian, by the way. So if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, thanks for being here with us. Yes, this pad is gonna be huge, and it's gonna be awesome. We cannot wait to share the progress. We're not gonna walk in the mud because my camera crew threatened to murder me. I mean, she didn't say that out loud, but she did with her eyes and her psyche. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's lots of burial sites on this property. So I need to be careful. I gotta survive through Christmas. So thanks for watching, guys. Definitely support us however you want. But at the end of the day, the best way to do it is to buy planes like the Steadfast or whatever it is. We don't want to talk you into something because they happen to be selling it. We want to talk you into something because it's a good fit for what you need, okay? This plane might be exactly what you're waiting for. And I would say it's dang good. I'm surprised. I did not expect to be saying that. I expected to be saying, wow, I wish it was better in all these ways. And really, to be honest, it's pretty much good in a lot of ways. And there's just a couple of really small details. To be honest, we have small details on all the planes we work with, okay? So that all being understood, check out the links in the video description below for both the plane, the battery, the receiver we chose. And we will probably go ahead and link to a couple of different batteries and a couple of different receivers. The transmitter, of course, is the NX10, but we're about ready to switch to an NX8. We'll give more rationale for that as we do it and it rolls out and we run out of memory on Airware. We have not yet. So until it kicks us out, we're gonna stick with the NX10. NX8 is great. It's gonna do what most of you need. So we're gonna start recommending that again, because back in the day, we couldn't. We needed the channels. Now we've got 20 on the 8. So also, if you guys want to support us in other ways, but you just can't bring home a new battery, plane, charger, whatever it is, there's Patreon, which is a monthly support mechanism. It also gives you access to me for community and back and forth communications. I am really good about getting back to people quick on that. If you guys are a Patreon, thanks for being one. We also have YouTube members, which give you a monthly support mechanism. YouTube super thanks. We always appreciate that. One-time donations warm our heart. Okay, so thanks if you're doing that. And then PayPal if you're just not into those other things. We have that just for regular donations. Just remember, friends and family, otherwise you just line their pockets. Which if you're into that, fine. It's between you and them, I guess. But at the end of the day, the best way is watch the videos, thumb them up, click the bell for notifications when you do subscribe, and obviously come back for more. Because there's literally so much right around the corner. We have about 4 big projects that we're trying to do, and we just haven't had the weather to cooperate with us. And to be honest, Christmas Eve, that's what day it is, in case you guys are wondering why we're filming. You may be seeing this after Christmas. Ended up being a pretty good day for flying. Probably the best day we've had in a month. So thank you, Christmas Eve. We appreciate it. By the way, we know that this video is gonna age over the years. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy birthday, whatever it is you're celebrating, whatever weird holiday that I don't know about, happy that thing. We're glad you're here with us on Brian Phillips RC, and we're glad we're bringing the joy of RC aviation into your world. And we hope that you'll get out of the chair and into the air, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You don't know where the beer truck is lurking. It could be right around the corner to take you out tomorrow. And I say that facetiously, but the truth is, guys, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So take advantage of the RC addiction today. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for another great year on Brian Phillips RC. Come back for more.